transparent. It's just out there. It's glaring in terms of the pieces that we need in order for us to be at that next level. And I'm going to continue to reiterate it. We're going to do the best with the guys that we have within our locker room now. And, we worry about all the other stuff in terms of moving pieces and everything else as an organization down the line in the summer. And, it's just something that we signed up for. We knew what we were coming into in the beginning of the season. Guys are going down left and right for us. GT's out. DJ, got hurt tonight. Wilson's just coming back. We have complimentary, young guys as well that have done a great job for the last 3 years. So collectively, I feel like we have great pieces, but obviously it's pretty glaring that we need, one more piece or two more pieces that will complement myself, KD, DJ, GT, Spence, Karras, and, we'll see how that evolves.
Kyrie talking about complimentary pieces. I am just the complimentary piece to the star of this segment, Tim Legler, here to break things down. And we were talking in our meeting about Ben Simmons. And this is a guy, look, he got paid, but he gets heckled because he doesn't have a shot. Yeah. Okay? So people look at him and they're like, I think he gets, not disrespect, but people just know he doesn't shoot. But in how many ways does he impact the game that are on display in this one?
So many, and he's such a dilemma in so many ways.
Right.
For that reason, I stopped talking about it. He's never gonna.
No.
He's just not going to shoot his entire career. So focus on the things that he does well.
Okay.
Okay. And the thing to me that stands out more than anything else, this guy has elite level speed. And his vision at the tail end of that speed is what creates so many opportunities. This doesn't really make a lot of sense that they're going to get something this good out of this when he starts here. He's basically 80 feet from the other end of the floor. And it looks, by all accounts, like Brooklyn's in good shape, man. There's two more guys back here. There are 5 guys back, but Ben Simmons covers this much ground. And by the third dribble, he's at this point. And here's what happens. You start to get defenders that are upright. What happens is your teammates are seeing this, right? And so right now, this guy is in the corner, and defensively, you're supposed to be tagging this shooter. The problem is, it looks right now like there is no way you're going to be able to keep Ben Simmons from turning this corner. So what that ends up doing, it makes you then hedge off and help. Maybe even in some situations where you don't need to, because you don't even know if Ben Simmons is going to try to finish this play. But the speed creates this. And this was a big turning point in the game. Korkmaz hits back-to-back threes, both created by Ben Simmons, and all of that, Scott, is generated by his speed. But here's the thing that we focus on a lot with Ben Simmons, and it's legit. This is unusual. I'm not going to say it's not. This is the point guard for an NBA team, a contending team, and he is being guarded by a center. Right?
Allen.
Correct. And look at all the room he's going to give him. And why is that such a big deal? Well, because Jared Allen is the guy, if you're Kenny Atkinson, right, you want him hovering around here at the lane. He doesn't have to do anything special because of who he's guarding. The fact that you can put a center on a starting point guard in this league is so unusual and unique to Ben Simmons. And as a result, you see Jared Allen just hanging out in the lane the entire time. He's not worried about where Ben Simmons is going. He ends up getting the block at the rim and is a rim deterrent, which is what you want him to do the entire time. So I get why it's frustrating. In a half-court walk-up situation, in a big moment, you would like to have your main ball handler be a guy that can hurt you if you don't guard him, honestly.
He's not.
So instead, there has to be adjustments to other things they do offensively so that he has an opportunity to impact the game with things he does well. That's what I have learned to do with Ben Simmons because he does so many things.
I'm not saying it's unreasonable to critique the fact that he can't and doesn't shoot.
Yeah.
I think it's just, I think you said it well, it's odd more than anything else.
Yeah, if we sat here and said, yeah, God, if only Shaq could bring the ball up once in a while. Like, no,
fair enough.
You know what? You don't care.
Do what you do.
That's right.
All right, so we're talking about a top pick there. Let's pivot to another top pick who we now know a week from now we're going to see, and that's Zion Williamson, who makes his debut against the Spurs on the 22nd. If he's generational, as the suggestion and thought is that he could be, what could that mean for a back end of the West that's really, really ripe to be had for a Pelican team that's played pretty well?
Yeah, I don't think David Griffin and Allen Gentry are going to play this guy because they think, oh, playoffs. They know that this is a young team. That's down the road. But because he may be so good and so ready right away, they may organically find themselves getting into the hunt just by him showing up. The hardest part of their schedule is over with. Out of the gate, their first 15, 20 games as tough as any team in the league is going to see, and you didn't have the #1 pick. So now, look at their schedule. It's reasonable from here on out. You bring this guy back, Scott, if he's anything close to what we saw in the preseason, with his ability to finish at that rate and that percentage, and that to me is what makes him special. Yeah, athletic ability is incredible, eye-popping. It's his ability to finish with touch and finesse is what separates him and why he can be a generational talent. If he is, the Pelicans are going to make things very interesting in the West, in terms of getting into that playoff hunt. They might come up short, but, man, are they worth watching now, and I cannot wait to see this young man play.
I'm sure fans feel the same. I'm sure the league that has looked at numbers in terms of eyeballs on televisions, they're going to be helped drastically with the return of this guy. And you mentioned preseason. We take a look at what he did preseason in terms of just he did a lot of work at the rim, which shouldn't surprise anybody. The man shot 71% from the floor.
Yeah, and he still shoots a set shot from the perimeter, so that's something he's going to have to work on. But, you know, the fact that he can still get to the places on the floor he wants to, despite the fact that that's where he has to get to. And then once he gets there, what I was so impressed by, and I saw it in college, obviously, but when I saw in the preseason against bigger, stronger, faster guys, NBA grown man defense, his ability to take it into traffic and then manipulate the basketball with either hand, soft, with English off the glass, floaters, the ability to finish with finesse at the rim is what ultimately means this guy could be an unstoppable force offensively. And if he ever develops any kind of perimeter shot at the NBA level to go with it, I don't know exactly what you're supposed to do with this guy because we've never seen anything quite like this athletically.
All right, everybody's on the clock a week from now. Tim, appreciate you, man.
Thanks, Scott.
We're so glad you're watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports and analysis, download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, make sure you subscribe to ESPN Plus. We'll see you there.